Is masculinity under attack in America? Or are we just witnessing a culture shift that's redefining what it means to be a man? Hey, y'all, welcome back to Smell the Roses, the space where we slow down, look deeper, and talk about what's really blooming underneath our society's headlines. Today, we're unpacking something that's been stirring debate again. Senator Josh Hawley's warnings about a so called war on men and what he calls misandrist ideology in American culture. Now, depending on who you ask, Josh Hawley is either standing up for forgotten men or fueling culture wars for political gain. So let's get into it. Recently, Senator Josh Hawley has been outspoken about what he calls a misandrist ideology. The idea that media, politics, and education have started treating manhood itself as a problem. He told Fox News, many of our problems as a nation could be resolved by having stronger men, not weaker ones. He argues that American culture now celebrates male weakness and mocks traditional masculinity. He links this to a rise in fatherlessness, male depression, and social disengagement, issues he explores deeply in his book, Manhood: The Masculine Virtues America Needs. In Manhood, Hawley writes, "No menace to this nation is greater than the collapse of American manhood." He describes a generation of men who, in his words, lack purpose and confidence, disconnected from what he calls their God given vocation. He challenges modern comfort culture with lines like, "A man who would take up his vocation and realize his promise must forge his soul and shape his character. He must become something more." And when talking about modern addictions and distractions, Holly gets blunt. Nothing could be more timid or weak, more sterile than a man alone staring at corn on his phone. He frames manhood as service, not dominance. Use your power to provide for the people in your life, to see that things around you work properly, whether it's improving a system at work or repairing a relationship. At its core, he's saying masculinity isn't toxic, it's necessary when it's disciplined, responsible, and rooted in purpose. But here's where the tension begins. Josh Hawley isn't just a writer or cultural critic. He's a sitting U.S. Senator who's become a lightning rod in American politics. He's been criticized for his role in challenging the 2020 election results and for his fist raising gesture towards protesters on January 6th, something many felt was symbolic of political extremism. So when he talks about strong men, critics worry it's code for hyper masculine nationalist ideals that could exclude or alienate others. And we know who those others are. Some see manhood as genuine encouragement for lost men, while others view it as moralizing and patriarchal, rooted more in nostalgia than progress. The Washington Post describes the book as half self help, half sermon, saying Hawley's version of masculinity can feel performative and political. So here's the truth to what he's saying about misandry, or rather, is there some truth to what he's saying about misandry, or is this just a culture war talking point that he has? There's no denying that men in America are struggling because male deletion rates remain far higher than women's. Fewer men are attending college, and many men say they feel unneeded in relationships, work, or society. But does that mean America hates men, or that men are just being challenged to evolve? Some say it's even accountability, not even hatred. And others argue we've gone from critiquing toxic behavior to labeling masculinity itself as toxic, leaving men confused about where they fit in. Maybe the real crisis isn't masculinity, but rather authenticity. Men who don't know who they are without the image they think they're supposed to uphold. So, where does that leave us? Hawley's words may be polarizing, but the pain he's describing is real for a lot of men in America. Maybe it's time to stop fighting over labels like toxic or misandrist and instead ask questions like, what does healthy manhood look like? How can men lead with strength and empathy? And how can society make space for both accountability and appreciation? Because the truth is, when men are lost, families, communities, and futures lose too. So tell me what you think. Is Josh Hawley right about a cultural bias against men? Or is this more about redefining manhood for a modern world? I'd like for you to drop your thoughts in the comments. Please like and subscribe. And remember, rosebuds, pause, breathe, and always smell the roses.